Patrick Mahomes is the most expensive NFL DFS option on FanDuel this week at $9,000, while Michael Thomas has that title on DraftKings at $8,200. If you want to pay up for one of them, or target another high-priced stud like Tyreek Hill, Todd Gurley, Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara or Travis Kelce, you'll need to find value elsewhere on your roster. Can Ted Ginn Jr. an X factor for the Saints? What about Rex Burkhead for the Patriots? Mixing known commodities with unexpected heroes is the recipe for cashing in large field NFL DFS tournaments for the AFC and NFC championship games on Sunday. Before setting your rosters for tournaments, cash games, or 50-50s on sites like DraftKings and FanDuel, be sure to check out the latest NFL DFS advice, top picks and optimal lineups from Sportsline's Mike McClure, a DFS pro who has won almost $2 million in his career. McClure uses a powerful prediction model that simulates every snap of every game 10,000 times, taking factors like matchups, statistical trends and injuries into account. This allows him to find the best values and create optimal NFL DFS lineups that he shares only over at Sportsline. They're a must-see for any NFL DFS player. McClure is rolling through the 2018 season thanks to some spot-on daily fantasy football picks. In Week 1, his optimal NFL DFS lineups finished in the top 3% of tournaments on DraftKings and the top 1% of tournaments on FanDuel. In Week 4, he finished in the top 2% on DraftKings and top 6% on FanDuel. In Week 5, his lineups cashed with ease on both sites. In Week 8, his followers saw massive returns with his DraftKings lineup finishing in the top 1% of all tournaments, while his Week 9 lineup cashed with ease on FanDuel. He cashed yet again on both sites in Week 10, and then his optimal lineup on FanDuel returned almost 3x in Weeks 11, 12 and 13. He followed that up with yet another cash on DraftKings tournaments in Week 15, and then finished in the top 0.1% of tournaments on FanDuel and inside the top 5% on DraftKings in Week 16. Anyone who has followed him is way up. For the 2019 NFL Playoffs Championship round, we can tell you McClure is banking on Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes at $9,000 on FanDuel and $6,600 on DraftKings. The record-setting first-year starter for the Chiefs had no problem in his first postseason start, completing 65.9% of his passes for 278 yards and adding a touchdown on the ground in a 31-13 win over the Colts. Now he'll take aim at a New England secondary that ranked 22nd against the pass this season. Mahomes threw for 352 yards and 4 touchdowns against New England on Sunday Night Football earlier in the season, so confidently lock him in as one of the top NFL DFS picks this week. Part of McClure's NFL DFS strategy for the NFC and AFC championship games includes rostering Rams wide receiver Josh Reynolds at just $4,200 on DraftKings and $5,400 on FanDuel. While his season-long numbers 2.9, 4.02, 5 won't blow anybody away, Reynolds has been extremely relevant for NFL DFS players since Cooper Kupp went down, as he took over as the crucial third receiver in Sean McVay's high-octane scheme. Reynolds has been on the field for a vast majority of the offensive snaps. In fact, since Kupp's injury, he's been targeted an average of 6.4 times per game, recording 23 catches and accounting for 3 touchdowns during that 7-game span. Whereas the Saints are stout against the run, they rank just 29th in passing defense this season, so lock Reynolds in as one of the top NFL DFS value picks for Sunday. McClure is also targeting a player who could go off for massive numbers during Sunday's championship games because of a dream matchup. This pick could be the difference between winning your tournaments and cash games or going home with nothing. So who is DFS pro Mike McClure putting in his optimal NFL DFS lineup for the championship round on Sunday? Visit Sportsline now to see the full optimal tournament lineups for the AFC and NFC title games from a professional DFS player who has almost $2 million in career winnings, and find out